Back when it released in 2018 on consoles and in 2019 on PC, Red Dead Redemption 2 was widely regarded as one of the most visually stunning games in recent years. And in my opinion, even to this day, the game's visuals still holds up, and technically it surpasses even most new releases of 2025. And this game has a lot of graphics settings to test. So let's not waste any time and let's get going. Now in this video, I'll try to take a different approach compared to what I usually do, and instead of randomly exploring settings, I will categorize them based on the specific visual aspect they affect. For instance, there are numerous settings that impact reflections, and there are other settings that affect shadows and so on. But first let's kick off with image quality. Initially when the game was released, and not support for DLSS or FSR, but these technologies were later introduced through a patch. However, let's compare DLSS and FSR. However, even with the latest version of DLSS, we can see that DLSS have some stability and clarity problems compared to FSR. And overall, FSR looks better in my opinion. For ANIT, aliasing the game offers a lot of options. First, we have FXA, which is cheaper option and quality-wise. It doesn't offer a lot eliminate aliasing, but what's not cheap in terms of performance is MSA. And finally, of course, we have TAA, and this one has negligible performance impact. Now let's take a look at the graphics settings, starting with texture and geometry. First, in this group of setting, we have texture quality. And here you see the VRAM usage between each option at 1080p. At next setting in this group is anisotropic filtering, and usually this setting doesn't have big impact on performance. It's the same story here, so I recommended 16x.
Good morning.
Next, we have geometric level of detail. This slider controls the level of detail and complexity for object at various distances, as you can see here. And because of this, setting this slider to low value can cause some LOD pop-in as you can see here with 0 out of 5 compared to 3 out of 5 or 5 out of 5. And performance-wise, when the GPU bound, there is a negligible cost when going from 0 out of 5 to even 5 out of 5, but when CPU bound, that difference increased to around 5%. So here I recommend 3 out of 5, especially if you have weaker CPU. And next we have tessellation. This one mainly affects the complexity of tracks and footprints that character can leave in snow, and performance-wise going from low to even ultra cost around 3%. So here I recommend leaving this one ultra. And the last setting in this group is parallax occlusion. Mapping this one gives more depth to flat surfaces, and for example like here, it can give brick textures in these surfaces the appearance of being individual 3D blocks. For performance-wise, going from low to medium is and high cost around 3% and to ultra 7% without any visual benefits. So here I recommend medium or high. Now let's move on to the next group, which includes settings of shadow. First, we have shadow quality. This one controls the resolution and sharpness of shadows cast near the player, and option from low to high have almost similar performance. So here I recommend high or ultra. Next, we have far shadow quality. This one controls shadows cast by far trees and object like here. In performance-wise, going from low to even ultra cost around 2%. So I recommend ultra. Next, soft shadow setting. When enable, makes shadows look soft the further they render from the object that casts them. As you see here, and performance-wise, this setting has almost no impact. So I recommend this one ultra. Grass shadows control screen space shadows for small grass and foliage, as you can see here between low and high, and performance-wise this setting seems to have negligible impact, so keep it at ultra. Next we have long shadow. This one affects the length of shadow cast by object and character during sunrise or sunset, and when enable it increase the extent to which shadows are projected like here, and it doesn't have a big impact on the performance. For ambient occlusion, the game relies on screen space ambient occlusion, or SSO, which gives precise shading in the areas where object or surfaces come into contact or close to each other like here. And performance-wise, going from off to even ultra cost around 5%. So here, since ultra doesn't offer much visually compare to high, I recommend high to stay on the safe side. Now let's move on to volumetrics and lighting first. In this group of setting, we have lighting quality, and this is one of the most demanding setting in the game, and it affects dynamic lights from moon and other emissive sources. And when using high and ultra, it increased the accuracy of light simulation and light scattering. As you can see here, performance-wise, going from low to medium doesn't cost anything, but going to high cost 18%, and to ultra 24%. So here, if you're looking for a big boost in performance, I'll recommend using medium. And if you have enough performance to spare and you want to make the game look better during nighttime, go for high.
How do you do?
Next, we have global illumination. This one affects the indirect bouncing of light within the game world. Like here, you can see how with ultra, this room is filled with brownish hue as light bounces from the floor and transfers its color to the surrounding. And this setting has negligible impact. So here I recommend this one ultra. Near volumetric quality specifically affect volumetric near to the camera like here, and performance-wise going from low to medium cost like 1% to high around 3% and to ultra 7%. So here I recommend medium. Next we have far volumetric, and this one is for volumetrics far away from the camera like here with these clouds. Performance-wise going to low to ultra cost around 4%. So here I recommend keeping this one high or ultra. Volumetric lighting quality, when using higher options, eliminate banding and dithering from volumetric lights. And performance-wise, going from low to ultra can cost around 2%. So here I recommend keeping this one ultra. And the last setting for volumetrics is unlocked volumetric ray march resolution. This setting, in theory, when enabled, should enhance the level of detail and visual fidelity of volumetric clouds. But I can't really see any visual difference between on and off, despite the fact that enabling this setting cost around 6% performance-wise. So keep this one off.